Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. What would you think are the two most common words that Christians use when they're in a panic or in a crisis? Do something. Do something, Lord. It's absolutely against human nature to stand still and do nothing when there's a crisis and there's trouble and difficulty on all hands. And probably the most difficult thing for even Christians is to stand still and wait for God to act. To stand still to see the salvation of the Lord. Even the most devoted of Christians panic when God doesn't move according to their time schedule. We're always giving God dates. We're always giving him a time limit. Lord, if you don't do it by now or by tomorrow or by next week, it's too late. God is never too late, and he's going to do it not on your schedule, not on mine. He's going to do it on his own schedule. But God has always been searching the earth for those who will trust him in their crisis, in every trial, and especially when it seems hopeless. And he will lead us, listen closely, he will lead us into situations that are alarming, that are critical, that seem hopeless, to test us. Devil has nothing to do with it at all. It's God leading into the crisis. The Bible states fairly clearly, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, Psalms 37:23. And that in Hebrew is prearranged, step by step, fixed, ordained by God. I'm going to tell you something. I believe that every step that I take is prearranged by my Father. Every step that I take is ordered by the Lord. Now, if I believe that, if I'm in a crisis, if I'm in a very, very difficult situation, he's led me there. Because he doesn't stop for a moment while he says, well, you're about to go into a trial. I direct you up to this point. You're on your own now. He directs me into it, through it, and out of it. The steps of a good man, and we are good only by the blood of Jesus anyhow. There's no goodness in us. A good man made righteous through the blood of Jesus Christ is her steps ordered by the Lord. God's word is filled with examples of this. And by the way, it's hard to accept. Think about it for a minute. It's very, very hard to accept this concept that the most difficult, critical times in your life have been prearranged by the Lord. That they are his doing. And folks, when you begin to see that and accept it and understand it, then you're halfway through your problem.
With the better host, Brother Achilles. And we actually have a really big announcement to make to you guys tonight. It's going to affect all of you directly and some of you even indirectly. And I'm going to go ahead and give the microphone over to Achilles so he can tell you what that is.
And it's not only that I have nothing to say, but it's also 4 a.m. and I can't think of something to say.
Well, I guess just tell the folks how many cup of coffees you had today.
I think the day was a good day. I had like 4 to 5. It wasn't like one of these days that I get like 8. But again, it's filtered coffee, which is funny. We call it French coffee here, but you don't call it French coffee over there. You call it American coffee. So that's what I had.
Well, we have like okay, so we have Folgers. I like Folgers. Maxwell House is a little bit stronger, but I like Folgers. And so we have brands, and then one of the flavors of Folgers coffee is French Silk.
Okay, but what I mean is the type. So if it comes in a coffee maker, which is like you just add water to it and the dust, and it just accumulates like a lot of coffee for everyone, that's called filter coffee. So I'm gonna show you something like what I mean. Uh,
Achilles, Robin is picking on me. She says that I love to put you on the hot seat. Will you tell Robin that's not so?
I can't lie, actually. Can I lie? I can't. So thank you, Robin. He does, but it's challenging me every time, to come up with something. But I'm the one failing to keep the comedy up. I mean, I like what Steven does. I just can't follow it. So, Steven, this is what is called worldwide French coffee.
Oh, you just mean coffee from a coffee pot.
Right.
Oh, we have well something like that, but yes, we have that.
But this type of coffee in the US is called American coffee because I get it. We don't like the French either. I don't know why we stick to it. Uh, so you might have different flavors of it. Maxwell, as you said, is a known brand. Jacobs, some of them may have some like French flavor or something, but we're talking about the type of coffee. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's the lightest coffee there is. So having as much as I'm having is not truly a big deal.
Hmm.
Cigarettes are another thing. I gotta quit on those.
We
Coffee's
don't
right.
grow coffee in America. Great point, Robin. And I'm more of an orange juice person. Big Bad Mama, you are
Oh,
welcome to come on the stream. I have the link pinned in the chat for you guys.
yeah, I get that. We have that too, BBM, but I couldn't follow the quantities that I'm doing with stronger coffee.
Do you guys like Irish cream?
Uh, mm, we
That's
have.
strong.
I'm not sure we're thinking of the same thing, but we do have a lot of cappuccino around here, which is with cream. But I don't know if it's the Irish cream. I'm not sure.
Well, Irish cream is just really, really strong coffee. Probably not as strong as like Colombian coffee, for obvious reasons. But I guess you can make whiskey from potatoes, so it might be as strong as the Colombian stuff.
You can make whiskey from potatoes? What?
Oh, Joseph's calling us out. All right, we need to knock this off. So you guys can probably see the thumbnail. Why don't we fit in? And the answer to that is because do we have a do we do the drum roll, Achilles?
Give me a second. I'll be back. Oh, good. Good.
This is not our home. We don't belong here, and we're not like these people. Should we elaborate, Achilles, or just end the show here?
Reminds me, I heard a song like a year ago, and it has become a bit of a favorite, and it's stuck in my head all the time. This tune. I know it might sound cheesy to some, but there have been some remixes of it out there that they are dance and progressive remixes, and it's a great song. I don't even remember her name.
Are you talking about Dance Monkey by Tones?
So Alice Merton, you know
I
her?
was no, but I was close. What's the song you're thinking of?
Not only can I tell you, but we can also play it because I
Is
have
it gonna give us one of those copyright marks?
not if I can do something about that because I have a remix of it, and remixes are not copyrighted. Anyway, it's the one. It's called No Roots, and it
Mm-hmm.
says I got no roots because my home was never on the ground, and I see so much in that. But what she's talking about is moving a lot, like living like a gypsy and moving around a lot.
Yeah.
But I just take it differently, and I just don't fit in this world.
By the way, while I have Joseph in the audience, Mr. Joseph, I left a text message for your wife and she never responded. Can you please ask her to send me and Krista 100 of the brochures and 100 of the business cards so I can pass them out? Okay, I'm sorry, Achilles.
Okay.
I've been telling people at my workplace about it and I have nothing to show them. So I'm trying to get that squared away.
Let's spread the gospel as far as we can.
So, Achilles, what do you think some examples of why we don't fit in are? Like, why are we not accepted in more of the outside groups?
um, Part of it, I think we are the ones rejecting them, because if we went out clubbing all the time and we kept going wherever people enjoy going, or you enjoyed talking about football all day, I'm pretty sure you would fit in with a lot of people. But when you start talking about what happens after you die and have you done something about it, people are like, let's not call Steven, you know. Um, so you hearing this from my microphone, though, I guess.
I did hear that, yes. It was very random.
Yeah,
It
but
was,
it's from. I haven't shared it, so it's from the microphone, which means that I can't have it a little lower. And oh, can I? Let me see.
but you know what's weird, Achilles, is I was reading Joseph's comment whenever you started playing it, and I was reading the part that he's got me, his wife heard. And you started playing the music at that exact moment, and for some reason it was playing out in my head like a music video. And I was thinking, Joseph's wife has a music video? That's bogus. My wife didn't have that.
So this world is just so in love with itself. Like all the people in it are so in love with themselves.
What in the 40 years of wandering the desert is happening?
There is one thing that the US missed out on, which was the clubbing scene of Europe in the 2000s. It was a real big thing. And there have been some epic progressive and dance songs out there. I was DJing at the time, but I enjoyed more going to parties than DJing parties. And it was a real big thing for Greece, the UK, Germany. We all kept traveling around Europe whenever there was this huge party. So I'm still a sucker for this kind of music, this type of remixes and stuff. Back to the topic. Um, the Bible keeps telling us that there's something about this world, but it takes a long time for you to see it, that it's not our world. But why isn't it our world? I mean, it feels good to be here for a while until you realize that everyone is so in love with themselves that they only have interest in the well-being of others when for some reason it fits their plan, their agenda, um,
You
everything.
mentioned earlier, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, but you said earlier that when I asked you, I said, why do you think we don't have a crowd? And I don't mean like followers or worshipers. I just mean the group that used to follow us and were consistent and came around and watched the content. Why do you think they're not here anymore? And you said we chased them off. Do you
Uh-huh.
want to elaborate on that?
I'm glad we did because we filtered out with our scorched earth strategy that we had. Um, yeah, for those that don't know this, me and Steven, we've never actually talked about this, what I'm about to say specifically, but we both know it. I have this weird energy, and Steven has this weird energy. So when we got together, we went full out scorched earth.
Yes, we
Like,
did.
it was like a typhoon met a wildfire, and that did send a lot of people away. But to be honest, I do see that it filtered out a lot because this is our house, and there were a lot of people that were like, "Yeah, I'll come in your house anytime I want, and I'll say whatever I want." So we kind of showed those that this ain't your house. Go start a channel and go yap over there. We are not very kind when it comes to remaining. Um, uh, what's that word being used a lot? This phrase used a lot.
Monogamy.
No, we are that. We are
Oh,
that.
I'm
Right?
sorry. I don't think I understood the assignment.
And no, Robin, what I'm trying to say is that we filtered out those that shouldn't be around and those that appreciate the fact that what we um, are still around and they will be coming back again. We don't feel lonely. If we feel lonely, we just run a show and we just talk about, I don't know, whatever.
Do you think it
Uh,
was worth it? Like
yeah, I
looking
think it
back,
was. I think it
what
was, and I can give you names, but they might take it too personally. But I'm just glad that they get intimidated because our work, our job is to be the salt of the earth, and salt is irritating to the wounds.
do
So
you
if
ever
you,
sit back and like look at what we lost versus what we've gained? Do you ever kind of weigh it out? Like the hosts that we've seen come and go, the exposés we've had to do, the mud we've had to handle, and not just me. I've handled a lot of the mud, but you've got some of that mud slung too. Like when you
yeah,
count it all, is it worth it?
there's blood on my hands too.
Oh, without a question. Your hands are reeking filthy of blood.
Red-handed, caught red-handed. Um, I wish I could find one moment in the history of what has happened in this couple of years that I can tell myself I'm not so proud of that because I am about everything. There is one thing, but I think nah, I don't even want to mention it. They know. I mean, I was a little over the edge, but well deserved, I will say. A bit over the edge, but well deserved. So we're not gonna be socially. What is that name? What is that phrase that goes around a lot? Uh, you know, comes with these woke times that we're in. That what you say has to be. I don't know. If you are disrespectful in the chat, you're getting timed out. If after the timeout you are continuing on being disrespectful, you're getting banned. We don't need you around here. It's not like you're paying us or anything like that.
You don't have
Um,
any regrets though? Like, see, I kind
no,
of look at it like you do. I look back, I see the battles we went through, counting the cost, it was worth it. And like you said, we did a lot of house cleaning. But I'm not proud of who I allowed that refining to turn me into. It made me very angry and very bitter. And Joseph's out there peddling the King James version of the Bible. Darn it, Joseph. No, I'm kidding. But no, I could have been the same warrior without being so brutal, I think. I think that I know.
okay, well, those with a true heart out there can see that the reason that sometimes you were more bitter than necessary is because of, whether you want to admit it or not, um, your your emotions are strong, especially when it comes to saving somebody from false doctrine. So I will never forget how many hours you spent going verse by verse with a friend around here that kept insisting on the Judaism roots and all that, and you were trying to show him that the books that you call are showing the Messiah being Jesus, and you went on phrase by phrase, um, chapter by chapter, and you were like, "We're not living here if you don't become a Christian." Now, for somebody, that could sound offending, but if they see it from your perspective, it is a matter of salvation of them. So I've heard that argument from you that you have been bitter, and I haven't been seeing it. I've seen that sometimes people deserve some answers that even I am not capable of giving, and I'm proud of you for giving them.
But you're my brother, and I love you to death, and I know you feel the same way about me. So
Amen.
if it was discovered that I was a serial killer cannibal, you would find a way to justify my actions and be like, do we even know if that person wanted to be eaten or not? Like, you would justify it because you love me and you're defensive of me too.
Yeah, no, and I've told you in the past when we've had, when I mean past, I mean like somewhat of a year ago, I told you that the reason I love you so much is how everything you do, I think, accords with the Bible. Cannibalism is not in my Bible.
Oh, you don't have the Orthodox one anymore?
Ah, yeah, I know. I gave it away.
We snuck it in.
We gave it some justification from the church history, and we snuck it in. Yeah, so it's not Bible above everything, and I just have never met somebody that is so on fire about the gospel the way that you are. I've met believers, I've met people that would give their life, but I haven't met people being so on fire. And I don't know. I like fire.
You
I
know,
like I
I
like
don't,
burning stuff. Theoretically, I like burning stuff. So
I have to be honest though, and Krista can tell you this is true. I don't have the same fire today I had a year and a half ago. I don't know if that fire will ever come back, and if it does, God save everyone. No, but I don't know if it'll be back.
uh, I love how, just for those that are listening in, I want you guys to know that this is the only time we've had this conversation, and it's going live, and it's with you. So I don't know what you're gonna hear, but
Holy Spirit, take the wheel.
full disclaimer here. So I know I've been noticing something about the same about myself when it comes to my channel, that I've been editing videos 1 month after the next. And at some point, something did click that I'm kind of done. I don't feel like the same fire that I used to have. So I think when it comes to this channel, we went so scorched earth that some things got scorched. And because those things got scorched, God is not giving us that fire because it's no longer that necessary. Because when you have people online pretending to be who they are not and saying that you don't know Greek, that's why you don't get what I'm saying, God sends you a Greek dude, and some people just vanish. See what I'm hinting to? So some people were like that. They were here, they were online, people were very respecting them. And then we burned a couple of hills, and we're now looking back and we're like, okay, there's nothing more to burn around here. Let's focus on our lives a little bit. So you got busy, I got busy, but it's all about fuel. If you're out there and you want to be the fuel, well, we're going to burn. Don't worry about it. So now this side of the YouTube sphere has these two weird watchers. If we think you're fuel, we're going to spark you up. If you're not fuel, you're not going to go on fire.
Out
So
of everyone we've lost in the past 3 years, the Larrys, the Shaynas, the Awakes, the Tims. Who do you regret losing the most?
I don't think some of the ones you mentioned, I don't think we've lost them. They just, I think the fire is a bit too much sometimes, and they chilled a little down from the internet, and they are doing their part in their community or in their family or in sorry for that, in whatever they're up to. But the others that are running their own channels, may God bless them. I'm glad that they do, because there are differences of opinions about some stuff. I don't like dogmas. I like offering to my fellow brothers and sisters. And when I arrive in a community where they know a lot more about the Bible than I did, because I'm a newborn, and I come in to verify that one translation should not be taken as dogma, those that want to take it as dogma and they don't want to hear a Greek newborn saying that that word does not mean that word, that the word green does not mean pale, that the King James is not based on the text of receptors, it's lying to you. I would appreciate if they said, show me. Not take my word for it. Just say, show me. And I would show them, because it's right there in the text. So instead of saying, show me, they wanted to stick to their dogmas, and may God bless them wherever they are. It just,
I don't think you would ever guess which one of our hosts I hurt losing the most. The one that really gets me. I bet
I
you'll
would,
never guess.
I would suspect, but it's not lost. But I would suspect Awake.
Awake is a very close contender. Like, very high on the list. That one was a blow. But truthfully, the one that got me the worst was
Right.
Chuck.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Chuck. I had a relationship with Chuck almost as close as I have with you.
Hmm.
Like, Chuck was a good friend, man. We got along so great for so long. And I don't know if it was all just a troll all along now, or if it just got to him, my association with Dow and Kent Hovind, or what it was. But man, things were never the same, and that one burns.
Hello, brother Rich from space.
How you doing, brother? Yeah, it feels
Can you
good up
turn
here in orbit, man.
yeah, can you turn around and tell us if it's flat or if it's a ball and end the argument now that you're up there?
The Earth is actually a cube, believe it or not.
Oh, thank you. How didn't I think of that?
Well, no, okay, so here's like the easiest way to prove that the Earth is round. Wherever you are, Greece or, Alabama, Colorado, climb to the tallest mountain, get a telescope, look at the horizon. You should be able to see New York City if it's flat.
Well, there is a little bit of an issue with that. I got a pretty big telescope. It is so big that I actually can't take it up on a mountain.
Well,
But
then you need to get you a pickup truck or something, bro.
yeah, I need a pickup truck. But the other problem is that the conditions of the atmosphere are not allowing this. So the better argument you can give me is just turn around and look at the window behind you and just tell me, because that's what people do. They don't look.
It's round.
All right, I'll take
Physics
your
won't
word for
allow
it.
a flat Earth.
I love the
Gravity will
fact
count
I,
towards the center.
I love the fact that the window on your right side, you can open it. Stephen, can you see that?
It's a fancy spaceship, yeah. That's
You
pretty
can
cool.
open the window. Isn't
I
it
just don't
cold?
want you to see the mess that's behind me, so I'm using this one for now.
Uh,
So, Rich, you can get in on this. The topic of the episode is why don't we fit in? And it kind
Ooh,
of developed into us going over, Achilles and I have been battle buddies for a few years now. And
uh-huh.
we've lost some relationships and shed some relationships due to our stance on the Bible and faith and debating with evolutionists. Can you relate to that? You ever felt like you don't quite fit in and lost relationships due to the gospel?
Well, I mean, my whole life, even before I was a Christian, I was an outcast. Um, Jesus did say, that this would happen, that people would hate us because they hated him first.
Hey, one second, Rich. Achilles, can you unmute yourself and mute your screen you're sharing?
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
No, I thought I heard some echo or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
not bad.
So yeah, Jesus said he would hate people would hate us because they hated him first, and I forget that the exact verse. I'm going to kind of paraphrase, but he said he'd come as a sword to separate father from son, brother from sister, sister from daughter, whatever it was, daughter and mother, and that's what it does.
Amen.
My older brother, I love him to death, is a lot like Aaron Ra. I'm assuming you guys are very familiar with who he is.
The
Um,
Gothic Fabio.
yeah, well, I've never heard it put that way before, but yeah. Um, you start bringing it up, he'll sit there and just scream and hate on you, and then 5 minutes later, after he's, catches his breath, he says, "I've been waiting for you to produce evidence this whole time." It's like, yeah, you won't shut up to let me do it, but yeah, um, outcast all the time, and I think that's why it's very important for us to fellowship, because iron definitely needs to sharpen iron, and we need to lift each other up, because heartbreak is a big part of being an outcast. Loneliness. It's not easy. I've got way too much gray hair for being 43 years old, and that's part of it. This heart's been scarred way too many times because of being an outcast. It's part of being a Christian. It's not all about love, joy, peace, and happiness. I mean, that is one of the fruits of the spirit, but there's a lot of tribulation that goes in there also. You know.
Now, whenever you think back about the relationships you've lost over the past few years due to this walk, is there one in particular that hurts you the most or that still weighs on you?
Yeah, my older brother, same guy.
Yeah, him.
That's a lot political, also, but there is one side that is very anti-Christian, that they really hate us and very atheistic, but I don't want to get into the political side of things, but because of political and religious reasons, he's blocked me on his phone and won't even allow me to text him or talk to him, or there's just nothing but hate, and who to thank for that, Satan himself. So fortunately, he is very, very good at his job. But I'm going to use it to strengthen my faith. I love my brother, but it just shows me more that Jesus Christ is right.
Amen.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
although we were a little bit more on the humorous side about it, though it's what you called it out to be. Like, if you become a child of God, this world is gonna hate you, but it is a mutual relationship. You're gonna hate it back.
Yeah.
And
What's
no,
that verse? Whoever hates his life will gain it. Whoever loves it will lose it. Or yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah.
amen.
Yeah. I'm ready to go, man. Come on. 43. I'm about halfway there. Let's go. Come on.
Well, it's funny you say that, Rich, because the subheader to the episode, well, why we don't fit in is because this is not our home, and
Yeah.
we're visitors here, and we stick out, and we're never going to feel like we fit in, except
Well, I've
amongst
got
each
my
other.
spaceship going. You want to jump on in or what?
I'm afraid of heights, Rich. My wife would be all on board. She'd go vacation, but I don't even want to go like 2 stories high because I feel like as a fat guy, God made me to be on the ground. Gravity's not my friend.
Well, I'm going to send you a shovel for Christmas then.
Okay.
Uh, so when I was working at Dr. Hoven's, you know how they have that man lift, right? Um,
Oh yeah.
I get a little story why spiders mostly cured me of my fear of heights. So I got in that man lift. I was behind the big shop and I was trimming some trees. It took a lot of courage to get up there. I was shaking and nervous and started getting a little more comfortable with it. Well, I started focusing on work, and the heights kind of went away a little bit. But I trimmed one area of trees, and then I was swinging the boom around to get to another end. And I wasn't paying attention, and I backed up into a banana spider's web. The big things the size of your hand with little claws as legs and stuff like that.
Oh
Well, at that
yes.
minute, I felt it was safer to jump the 35 feet and then deal with the spider. And they haven't bothered me quite so much since then. So
All right.
I still hate spiders, right? But heights don't bother me as much. So it might be one way for you to get over it.
Tales from Dinosaur Adventureland, and we're still going to do that episode soon, like kind of the behind the scene thoughts of workers who have been through Dow. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to that a lot.
yeah. Let me know. Tomorrow and Saturday. Well, then we're probably going to want to do like a regular join in on a session, talk about how Saturday went. But I've got one idea. I was actually talking to my younger brother, and I think if the conversation is brought up, which it's almost guarantee it will. My thoughts on the Catholic Church is the Catholic Church are the Pharisees of modern day. So
Amen. Oh, you fit right in.
Oh yeah, no, they are. And I've said before that the Catholic and Orthodox Church is a Westerner's cheap reproduction. Right? It's the Timu version of the Jewish temple system. They have all the fancy robes. They do all the special ceremonial things. It's just the cheap knockoff from the Jews.
gotta look good in the eyes of the world, and all fancy and
Dressed like priests of Baal.
yeah.
which
When
which
the camera's not facing us, go back to the normal wicked life.
which by the definition is what Jesus came to stop. So we have two churches, the biggest ones on the earth, doing what Jesus came here to stop, because he was the final sacrifice. There is no more need for the sacrifice to be happening weekly. But the way they've turned this is that, you got to be going to church every Sunday and take the Eucharist, it being the new sacrifice happening every Sunday, which is exactly the system that the Jews had before the coming of the Messiah and his sacrifice. So at some point, I have high hopes. I mean, maybe too optimistic, that some people will wake up to this. By the way, there was an amendment
Which
by
is
the Catholic
like
Church.
to have, good mentality to have,
Stephen, there was an amendment of the Catholic Church about the demoting of Mary.
Oh, mercy. Are they already backpedaling?
Kinda, but with so fancy words that you can't understand what they're saying. I didn't catch it. I
It's
saw it, but didn't understand.
Do you want to know why that's happening, Achilles?
Because there's a lot of Catholics out there that got shaken by that, by the demoting.
I don't
Maybe.
think that's it alone. I think it's more that they realized in their effort to reach out to Protestants and win over Protestants, they were rapidly losing their support from the Orthodox.
Yeah, because the Catholic Church might be trying to backpedal on this, but the Orthodox Church doesn't seem to. So
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, maybe they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they don't know what to do.
Catholicism is the most idolatrous religion I've ever seen until I saw Orthodoxy.
Yeah, they don't. The Catholics don't take uh, feet of dead saints and dip them in water and then spread that water around. I can show you other stuff. That's the one that made it through Jamie's video, and we had a lot of fun with it. But um, every year we pick up a body of a saint on their name day.
Got a phone call coming in. I might need to dip out.
Okay.
Right? He probably has Tesla up there.
It's
Uh,
Batman. He needs a
SpaceX,
partner.
SpaceX phone.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Sorry, guys. 2 nights
All
in a
right.
row. I gotta go.
Talk
Thanks
to
for
you later, man.
See you, brother Rich.
Bye.
All right. Well, Rich, thank you for stopping by. And all three of you guys, I think if we try really hard, we could fit you on the panel. So you guys can just come on in. And that way we'll have 0 viewers. We'll just have a bunch of people hanging out.
Which I don't know. Today we just went on without any plan. So I shared my screen because I was like, you know what? I'll just let me share a video about something which is completely relevant, like an old video of mine, a little bit old, but of 2022. So I don't know. I think I've told you this. Yeah, I told you this. I told you about this in on an email, but I'll just say it out loud for anybody that cares to know. Back in 2022, I attacked a specific priest because I happened to see that he's making videos on the internet on cooking. An Orthodox priest has his own YouTube channel, and he's telling people in the end times that we are how to cook. So, because people have not been taking me seriously when it comes to spreading the gospel and they trust the priests more, I used his videos to tell people that if you think that the most important thing in the end times is how to fry your eggplants, go to Orthodoxy. If you want to hear something about the gospel, you might hear it from the mouth of a child instead of the mouth of the Pharisees. Long story short, the reason I'm mentioning this is because that specific priest got arrested last week, which is it's almost 4 years later, because the video was uploaded in 2021, but I labeled it 2022 for some reasons. But he got arrested because he was pushing drugs through his church. He had drugs, and they were heavy drugs, inside the holiest place of the temple. So believers knew that, and they were getting their fix after the Eucharist. And then Orthodoxy came out and said, well, he's not really a priest. We have denoted him in the past, but whatever. Of course they would. So comes back to our previous discussion. If I feel bad when I expose people, when in 5 years later, not all of them are going to get arrested by the police. So people need. Go ahead, brother. I would keep ranting, but go ahead.
Do you know what the Catholic Church could really use?
Drugs?
No. Gordon Ramsay.
Who's that?
You know Gordon Ramsay. He's the famous British chef who's always got an attitude and telling people what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah. It'd be like, who decorated this place? It looks like my granny did it. It'd be like, the sacraments are all wrong. The bread is cold and the wine is warm. What is going on?
We just throw it off the table.
Now that is a pope I think I could support.
And the thing is that you get some people that are warning you about something. It's raw.
It's raw.
And
I'm sorry.
And people today, they just, they trust the official ones. Just like what people did in the time of Jesus. They were trusting the Pharisees when they put him to the cross.
Oh, yes, and they're using the same tactics today. The Catholics are just reusing Pharisee 101 playbook. And it's claim authority, claim to be the only ones with the answers, and claim that you have to come through this sect in order to make it.
Everybody else is an anathema and a heretic. And this time they don't put them up on a cross. They use the same government, though, the same system, but they come in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
They don't come out, the way they did it with our Savior.
Yeah.
They come like gorillas in the night. So no, I don't. When I know something is the truth, I never regret supporting it. If I do something and then I find out that it was not the truth, I'll come right out and make a statement about it, that I was wrong, But I haven't seen that happening with what we've exposed here so far. I mean, for example, the Catholic Church came out with an official statement with this Pope and said that, we are kind of demoting Mary, and we congratulated them here. That's what we did immediately.
Yep.
So if they don't, we will continue attacking them. Oh, so I was saying earlier, before I mentioned that priest, that when it's St. Andrew's Day, we take up his body. No, his head. We only have his head. And we put it out there for people to come out and kiss the box that his head is in. And then we take the head and we take it out, and people are lying down on the street, and the head, some bishops are taking the head over them and they're getting the blessing of a dead head, which they're saying it belonged to Saint Andrew, the original Saint Andrew. Like, yeah, sure, I believe ya.
You know what it reminds me of is a cult that sits in a big circle and has a glass of, we'll just say, deadly Kool-Aid,
Mm-hmm.
and they take a sip of it one at a time. That's what it
Okay.
reminds me of when you see the Orthodox and Catholics walking around kissing dead body parts and drinking water that ran off a dead mummied foot.
And I just got up on my chair to go on a tab here and see if I can find this. Another one that came to my mind was Saint Gerasimus, which we take his whole body out. No, it's not going to be graphic, it's in the box, but here we are. Here we are. I got it. Share my,
Yay!
share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, it's frozen because I'm at the same time rendering. Just give it a minute. I'm exporting. So all these people are lying down, and what is on the back here is the box where the corpse is, and we're taking the box over all these people and that poor child right here, so they can get blessing from the corpse. So if that child grows up, they think this is what Christianity is.
Why do you even need Jesus for a blessing anymore? Why can't you just lay under the dead body and get it all through that? Like, let's just cut out Jesus.
Which they have. We are now focused on Mary more. Get ready, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
This is the moment I told you about.
Oh, she's
This
taking a
is going to
selfie
change your
too.
life.
Yeah, she's taking a selfie too, for Christ's sake.
About to smell the saint's rear end.
Nozzles up. No, don't get up. Don't get up. Stay down. Stay
I'm
down.
glad the priests have the long dresses on so nobody can see, anything, Why do the nuns look like milkmaids?
These are not nuns. This is a traditional uniform of Greece. Like that part, the women being dressed like this has nothing to do with the church.
Mm-hmm.
This is a traditional Greek dress, and wherever you are in the country, wherever you're from in the country, the colors change, but goes back to a couple of 100 years. So when it's like some important date, like that one, um, there are some unions that have the dresses and they dress up, and you know
So if
that's
I come to your house on a holiday, your mom and your sister are going to be dressed like this?
heck no, heck no, come on.
Come on, admit it, Achilles.
But I can show you the color of from the island that I come from.
Robin, Trump does not get a pass on morality with Achilles and I. I think we've been criticized as being very anti-Trump, which I don't know if that's always fair, but that accusation has been raised.
Dude, 100% fair.
Achilles, I was trying to leave us some wiggle room.
To do what? Wiggle? We don't
A little
wiggle on
bit.
that stuff. Yeah, we don't wiggle on that stuff. Trump is using Christianity for the votes, and all he does is gain power and do whatever he wants with that power, whatever the deep state wants him to do. Yeah, they just figured out at some point, they were like, you know what? People are starting to suspect that these are the end times, and there are a lot of believers popping out. So what do we do? We use them. We use them for votes. Now that, oh, by the way, Robin, I watched every minute of that man that you sent me, the link that you sent me. I watched the whole thing. Despite the 10% of the things that he says that I don't agree with, just 10%, 90%, the guy is so spot on. This is the time that both atheists and Christians need to unite against, how does he call it? Christian, no, I would have an issue if he called it Christian fascism. He called it Christian fundamentalist movement, Christian. This thing that Christianity becomes a political thing, and we have the right to go bomb countries because they're not Christian, but they have oil. You know, we gotta unite on that, and we gotta just have one difference: that I believe in a creator, and you don't believe in a creator. That's it. But we both agree.
Yeah,
That's
the government sees a country with oil, and they come and tell Americans like, "Hey guys, these people have a god too, and we have to go help them. You know, liberate them in their oil. I mean them." And we're like, "Wait, they're a Christian nation?" And they're like, they have a god too. Yeah."
And if they don't like that you're going for the oil, then they have an evil god, you know, and they're planning to come here and take away your jobs.
I don't
Christian
believe,
nationalism, that is the term. Thank you, Robin. Christian nationalism.
and Achilles and I don't even like this term Christian nationalism. It should be Christian idolatry, because that's what it is when you boil it down to its root.
I feel sad for all the people, all the friends that have fallen for this, but I'm not going to stop talking against it. I would love to see them change their mind. And by the way, this is not only happening in the US. Trump is an idol for all the right wing on the earth. So a lot of politicians are copying him. So we have our own. And you got to notice that they never mention the word Christian. Pay attention.
I almost think I think Trump is bigger than a Christian idol. I honestly think he has been turned into a false god. The same way the Egyptians would worship Pharaoh and all these other ancient cultures would make a man into a god, I think the right has done the same to Trump.
Which gives me back the ball to say he's a very good example of how people are going to worship the Antichrist. He's a very good foreshadowing of him, because you see it's worshiping at this point. Like whatever he says, man, whatever he says, he's right. Whatever he says, but he's coming for your neighbor. Well, the neighbor is here illegally. Yeah, but he's been here for like 30 years and he has like children. Well, he's not taking his children. And what about you? You came there illegal. No, I didn't. I was born here. What about your parents? Well, don't talk about my parents. You know? So,
And
you know,
look,
the hypocrisy.
I started paying attention to politics in about 2006 when my dad ran for Congress. And that's when I really started paying attention to politics. And I got really heavily involved ever since 2007 for the 2008 primaries. That was the first election year I could vote in. And ever since then, I've seen the flip go from right to left. And it's the same beast with two wings. The left doesn't care about you. The right doesn't care about you. The left hates God. The right hates God. The only difference is the left is more honest, that they don't need God anymore, and the right is still wanting to court the Christian vote. So they pretend to have values and morals, And really, they're the ones with young page boys, probably in the back of the Capitol building doing abominations.
What he said. I mean, in a nutshell, it's what it is. The left just doesn't pretend. That's all.
They're more honest, and we
They're
hate
more
them
honest.
because they're honest. Like,
And
how
yeah,
dare you guys be honest about wanting to murder a baby? Meanwhile, the right does it too. It's just okay because we're killing babies in other countries.
like here's a hypocrisy here. Oh, okay, no, I'm not gonna bypass that point because it's a very important point. We have an issue with killing the baby here, but when it comes to any other country, mm-mm. So did you hear today's news? What the U.S. is asking of Ukraine so they can continue shipping weapons to them?
No.
That you lower the limit from 25 years old to go to the army to 18.
Mm-hmm.
So they are demanding from Ukraine to change the age limit to 18 years old, and then they will continue shipping weapons. So for the first time in his life, Zelensky came out saying, I'm not going to do that. It's the first time I've heard him say no. And that goes back to what you said. It's okay to kill other people's children, but not ours.
Right.
That's so wrong. But let's not. Gaza? Oh, you are an anti-Semite for talking about that. Like we've never seen such a tragedy in that specific land for the past century. We have never seen such a massacre as we saw. And people are like, it's cool, man. It's cool, man. He said it.
But Achilles, it's for your freedom.
Right. Oh, no. It's for his casino that he's going to make right there and your freedom. But his casino first.
Mostly the freedom thing, though.
Yeah, we'll talk about the casino after the next, election, next president. That's a good question. Who do you think comes next?
After Trump?
Yeah, because supposedly he can't run again, but
yeah,
this is what we've just talked about, that the idolatry of him is so big that people want him again. But if you want to stick to the Constitution, you can't have him again. So who do you think it's going to be? I'm actually dying to know.
So for one thing, I don't think Trump couldn't run again unless he would have to change and make a constitutional amendment. And I don't think he'd have the support to pull it off because the country would go into a civil war. And rightfully so. 2 terms is way more than any president needs, and more than you want for one single president. And so since Trump can't run again, I'm looking at J.D. Vance to run with Trump's endorsement. I'm looking at Ted Cruz to get back in the race, but he won't get anywhere close. I'm kind of afraid that J.D. Vance is going to run. And I'm afraid if he runs, he has enough charisma to win. And I really am terrified at the idea of having an American Catholic Pope and a Catholic United States president at the same time. Like, that is horrific.
Do you think the pendulum is going to swing towards the Democratic side?
No. I don't think the Democrats are organized enough right now to pull off a victory. And the American people still have too fresh in their mind that for 3 years, we had a president who was just a walking corpse, who couldn't formulate a coherent thought 25% of the time. And, they've referred to him as the auto pin president. And that shadow type of government makes Americans nervous. And honestly, the only other candidates the Democrats have that they could run is Nancy Pelosi, and she's too old and she's too hated.
No, I think she's quitting. She's quitting her
Good,
position. Yeah,
good. And Hillary Clinton is
retiring, I should say.
hopefully, because Hillary is the most evil candidate there's ever been. And I don't even know a lot of Democrats that like her. Elizabeth Warren is too liberal to pull over moderates. Gavin Newsom ran California even
That's the
further
one.
into the ground.
That's the one I think there is gonna be an issue with, and I'll tell you why. Right now, um, there's a lot of people that are having an issue with the way Trump is treating even his own people, with the army, with what's that agency's name that's kicking people out, ICE. All right, so it's not just Democrats that are beginning to have. Democrats do, but there are also Republicans that are having an issue with Trump. So all it takes right now for somebody to be elected is to stand up to him. And
Yeah,
and
I
the only
think
one that has done it so far is that one. I can't pronounce his name. Newsom, from California.
so. There's two serious candidates on the right who, if I were the Democrats, I would be afraid of. It's J.D. Vance and Ron DeSantis. And the thing about, I think Ron DeSantis would actually be an amazing president, but only after Trump is out of office and out of influence, because Ron DeSantis will kiss Trump's ring and he'll be more radical than he actually is. And if he would tone back down to his actual self, I think Ron DeSantis would be the best president we've had in a really long time.
I don't think we are going to see a big thing that any American can be proud of from now on. I think we're such so deep in the end times that it's only getting worse. And I'm gonna take you back from Obama to this day. People saw so much in Obama, and he turned out to be more white than the white.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the army at that time, and a friend that we were having some political discussions, comes to me and says, "Hey, do you want to sneak out in the middle of the night so we can go and watch the election night of the US?" I'm like, "Dude, are you nuts? I'm not gonna watch the election of the US. Why should I?" He's like, "Well, there is a chance they're gonna have the first Black American president, man. We should watch that." I'm like, "Dude, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna be sleeping all night long, and you go right ahead and watch him like he's something different than the rest." And the guy did. He like sneaked in, and opened up the TV on the, where we eat, and he watched the whole friggin' election. And I don't know how he feels about that now, 20 years later. So I don't think we're coming to a place where we're going to see something good in any country. Um, and you got to be careful with it, hoping, because patriotism, I think, is the number one idolatry of these times. This
I'll,
world is going to burn.
I'll tell you what might happen, because we seem to be at a point in history now in this country where we're swinging left to right so much faster than we used to. Like it used to be, if you were Republican or Democrat, there was a really good chance as president you would be reelected for another 4 years. You could almost count on it. No serious opponent really ever ran to DC the sitting president from the opposing party. It's just so hard to unseat an incumbent. But
Is it?
now it used to be.
I
It's
mean,
not like that anymore.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that I don't see the other side actually acting to get rid of him. It's like, yeah, we don't agree, we hate him, we're gonna do all the comedy shows against him, we're gonna do like everything against him, but we don't bring an actual candidate for you guys to see against him. It's like this system is working for itself, both sides.
I'll
I'm just,
say this one thing that could tip the scale is whichever party finally makes public the Epstein files, and depending on what's discovered in it, would totally change the election.
When it comes to who's in it, I remembered. Can you hold that thought? I remembered one scene from a movie. The movie was Leon. Leon. Have you seen that movie?
I have.
So there was that scene in that movie when the guy, man, I'm sorry that I can't remember this guy's name because he's a terrific actor. The bad guy. Oh man, slips my brain again. 5:15 guys. It's pretty hard. So I'm just gonna share the screen here.
And we can go ahead and start doing final thoughts and start wrapping it up.
Share my screen. This is the answer of who's in the list.
Everyone.
Right? So that's what popped in my head when you said when we discover who it is. Who is it? That's
Well,
the answer.
that is the answer. You're right, though, and that's why it hasn't been released, because it's Trump, it's Gavin Newsom, it's all the right wing and left wing opponents of each other. They were all traveling to the island to fondle children. And that's why neither party is releasing the files. They can both cry about it, but they've both had the opportunity, and neither party has got it done. That's because we'd have to start over from scratch.
The brother of King Charles resigned from the kingship, the whole thing, that what you call it, because of the files, because his name is in it.
Oh, you're talking about Prince Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't resign, my friend. He's in deep trouble with the royal family.
And the other person that I know for sure that is far away from the US is the son of the King of Greece. So when we say everyone, ladies and gentlemen, it's a big list. All right. So it's not just convenient to one party to have created this. Don't forget that the poster on the wall inside the house was Bill Clinton wearing Hillary Clinton's dress. That was a painting. Somebody painted that, like with paints. It wasn't a picture. It wasn't an AI made thing. So this is not convenient to some party to take down somebody because it takes down themselves as well.
No, because you have evidence that Trump was visiting the island with the Clintons together as one big happy family.
Yep.
And that also explains why Trump didn't throw out more dirt on Hillary and Hillary didn't throw out more dirt on Trump. Like they did, but they had a lot more on each other. And that's because they both had that ultimate blackmail on one another.
And you get some funny moments where Elon Musk made that comment on Twitter that when they disagreed and they fought, the two narcissists had this fallout, like good old little children.
Mm-hmm.
He released, no, he didn't release shit. He made a post on Twitter on his platform, which is called X. You know why Trump won't release the Epstein files, he said, because he's in them. And then he deleted the post. But here's what's funny about that. We already have a portion of the list. It has been out for 5-7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk's name is in it. So
they're all in it. Look, they all did it.
Are you sure you want to cast that stone?
I do. I want to see a complete purge. But my
not
wife,
you know what I'm saying?
my wife is looking very cuddleable. Cuddleable. She looks cuddly. And I would very much like to be involved in on that action. So I'm fine with wrapping this down unless you have anything else or anyone else to expose.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna get the channel banned if we continue, man. When
We went a little ham today, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know why my intuition kinda hit me today to share a song slash some visuals that I have, which was that video with the priest that I mentioned. So we can use this as an outro,
Okay.
and you can even leave, and I can end this right after this, and it will be for anybody interested for a good song. Thankfully not copyrighted because my video is still up there, so that means that's okay to use. But I need a minute because my brain is farting all over the place and I can't find the video. I just need a minute.
All right. So, final thoughts of the night, people in the comments. As we exit, cuttable. Yeah, I did seem like a usable phrase, Robin.
We got it at the end.
It's a Stevenism. You guys are welcome.
So first off, I don't know if this is going to look I don't know if this is going to look good because there might be some lagging. So Steven, oh, it had a smaller intro. Share my screen.
You're not sharing a screen to share.
I told you. I warned you about my brain, didn't I?
Well, look, and hey, let's do that real brief while you're trying to pull that up, unless you already have it.
I have it, but go ahead.
You have it up, Achilles. I'm going to share it now.
I'm gonna mute my. No, I'm not muting myself yet because I remembered now, after trying to pull this up, that there is this funny moment that happened that people didn't realize. So, although I know this is your favorite pastor out there,
Oh, the
he's,
hate pastor.
he's the only one, though, that took some time and effort to teach his congregation some Greek. So, he's at the same time he goes about the letters, and I'm using this to say that something happened in 2020. We had some strains of the virus.
Mm-hmm.
So when a virus first appears, you call it alpha because it's the first strain. Then the second strain is normally called beta, but beta sounds beta. It's not scary enough. It's like, yeah, you're not alpha, you're beta. So they skipped that one. The next letter they skipped was the gamma. And what I'm saying in the video is because gamma in Greek is almost like saying the word F, the F word. So they skipped that one too. So the next strain that we had was the delta. So we had the alpha, we had the strain delta, if you guys remember. There was another strain that didn't make it too public but it was there, it was official, and it was called Lambda. And then the next one was called Omicron. So if you go to the Greek alphabet and you go to the capital letters of the Greek alphabet, you have the alpha here. Can you see my mouse, Stephen? Or did you drop out on me? He dropped out, didn't he? Because I did tell him he can drop out. I thought I was not ready for it yet. All right, so for the viewers, all right, maybe this is not appealing to my brother, which is something I gotta deal with. He has an issue with my videos. Like the minute I press play on a video, he loses focus. All right, so check this out, guys. We had the alpha strain, we had the lambda strain, and we had the delta strain, and then we had the Omicron strain. So I want you to look at this chart and tell me how many pyramids you can spot on the Greek alphabet, because this is the whole Greek alphabet, other than these three. The only three pyramids that exist is the alpha, the delta, and the lambda. So then you get the Omicron. Can you guess why? I'll show you. That's why. You have all the pyramids of the Greek alphabet being strains, and then you get the Omicron. I'm sorry, I have no other frame that only shows the circles instead of the... So these are the only, there is no other pyramid in the Greek alphabet. And we got the Omicron. And then I'm going to remind you that there was another strain, and the way they called it, it came out in 2024. They called it Ares. Ares is the goddess of discord and chaos in the Greek mythology. She's the one responsible for the Trojan War itself, that one deity. Why do you name a virus after that deity? Why is there this card, this game of cards called the Illuminati, and it has all the events that we have seen happening all over the world, and it has one card in there that says goal, hail Ares. The goal of the game is to hail Ares, the goddess of discord and chaos. I'll just leave this as rhetorical. Like, I'm not expecting any answer on when I'm asking why. So I just felt like sharing this, the music part that I have after this, which doesn't relate much with what you saw here. So I need to come back and mute my microphone and unmute the screen. So give me a second for that. And let me check if there are any comments on this. Yes, Ares is the god of war, and Athena is the goddess of war. Yes, no, we're not closing. Stephen left me on my own. I'm gonna burn stuff. So Robin, even if it's just me and you here, I'll play this. And I hope you enjoy that song. And visuals, maybe. All right, so I'm switching. You won't hear me again now. Spoiler alert, that didn't go well. So that video is titled 2022 on my channel. It's one of the only videos that the whole title is 2022, but it has, wait a minute, we get rid of that. It has parts. So this is part one. A forest fire came and messed everything up. But I said, get out of here. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, no. Wait a minute. No. Athena was not the goddess of the hunt. Artemis was the goddess of the hunt, and not only of the hunt. She's the brother of Apollo. Athena was the goddess of wisdom and war. And I mean, there's not much wisdom in war, though, is it? Duh. Artemis is what we have today as Mary worship. She has different names. She used to be Diana. A lot of pagans know her with that name. She used to be, she had another name in Babylon. I don't remember what that is right now, but it was the Magna Carta, Magna Madre, the Great Mother religion anyway. And it takes some studying for somebody to make the connections. But what should bake your noodle, is that the expression? Is why do we have two space programs, one of them named after Apollo and the next one after his twin sister Artemis? Weren't there any other names out there? I mean, come on, I can give you a couple. So the Romans, what they did is they took the Greek mythology and they stripped all the gods from their history and their backgrounds, and they just have the same names. But if you want to learn about them, what they did, who they did it to, and all that stuff, you gotta go to the Greek mythology. It's all the same gods. But again, the Greeks are not the ones that invented them. It goes all the way back to Babylon. They just changed the names too. But the Roman Empire also stripped down all their history. And then they did the same with Christianity. They took the true Christianity and turned it into Catholicism. And they spread in two sides. The West is Catholicism, the East became Orthodoxy. They had that split at some point about minor stuff. And when I say minor stuff is because they still idol worship. So instead of fighting about that, they're fighting about other stuff. Now, Orthodoxy has its own fights within the old calendar, new calendar, because that's what matters. Let's keep worshiping Mary, but let's just focus on the calendar. Which calendar is the right one? The Roman one or the pre-Roman one? Whatever. So, yeah, I think I should go. Thank you for sticking around, Robin. Sending kisses. I'm glad you like this. And there's much more to that video. It starts with what we talked about, and then after that music ends, it shows forest fire that arrived to my house. But then to respond to fire, I'm saying in the video that I'm going to respond with fire. So it has, the next part is separated in part 2a and part 2b, which is the gospel. Instead of talking about the fire, I gave Satan what he didn't want, which was the true fire, the fire of the gospel, which is going to burn him. So if you can endure that part, the 2a and 2b, then at the third part, I'm coming back to the fire thing. And I'm actually showing then what happened to my bikes, what happened to my garage, and what that meant. And just a little tip between the 5 of us around here. It's a very important song. I'll leave it at that. And I'll say have a great night. And I should have found the intro already, the outro. Because now there's this awkward silence moment. Here it is. Have a great night. See you soon. Oh, wait, what? Terry Berry. Hello. Hello, Terry Berry. You're muted. You're still pretty much muted. Oh, and Jamie. Jamie is muted too. You guys are both muted. And there's no middle ground there. You're either muted or not. So you're pretty much 100% muted right now. Want me to try unmuting you? Let me see. Hello. So it says unmute request has been sent to Terry. So I suppose you gotta accept that. Oh, there you are. Are you guys traveling?
Where's the music coming from?
Right now, there should be no music. But I
can't
play.
hear anything.
Can you hear me? Okay. Well, that was short. They're traveling someplace. I don't know where that is, but that didn't go well. I got some good ones for this moment, or maybe this one. The newlyweds, yes, and I think they're on a honeymoon because they were traveling for sure. That was a train, maybe. There was no music. I mean, there used to be. I think you're back in time. You should hit the live button. There is no more music. I did play something, but there's no more. It is a train, though. I got it right. You definitely can't go to Hawaii with a train. I think we can agree on that. I mean, I don't know. The Chinese are building some underwater tunnels, but definitely not that long to Hawaii. Yep. I mean, that island is in the middle of nowhere, man. Oh, reminds me of a joke. I'm trying to remember it. It was about, Okay, yeah, I remember it. Okay, there's somebody that is praying to God. God appears to him, and he's like, "You've been my best child, and I want to do something for you. What is it that you would want?" He says, "I always loved Hawaii, but I'm scared of boats and airplanes, of ships and airplanes. So can you build a highway to Hawaii so I can go to Hawaii?" And God says, "Well, I'm God. I can do anything." 5 minutes later, God comes back to him and says, "You know what? Making a highway to Hawaii turned out to be a little more harder than what I thought it would be. Do you have another wish that you want me to satisfy, fulfill?" He says, "Well, I would like women to understand what we men are all about. And God says, okay, I'll have the highway thing done in a couple of days. I'll see you in Hawaii.